and there is a place for people in our hearts, and we can't switch that. We can't exchange that. And if we exchange it, then that will cause a lot of pain in our lives. So I went through this journey, and this was just really the beginning of trying to, as a highly sensitive person and a perfectionist, to try to learn to have the proper balance of how to love people, give and take from people, have relationships, work, and not allow these things to overtake the core of my heart. To learn to love in the right way, to learn to have and interact with this life as it should be, where this life is something that we live in, we enjoy in a halal way, but we realize that it is only temporary. And that it is only a bridge to our real life. It is only a bridge to the perfect life. And until we realize that, we continue to get hurt by this life. There's the second half of this chapter, the second chapter, is entitled, People Leave, But Do They Return? And this chapter is about what happens when we lose things in life. Are they lost forever, or do they return in a different way, maybe a better way? And I go and I reflect on the stories that were told in the Quran, the stories of the loss that prophets, peace be upon them, went through. And I reflect on whether or not this loss was permanent, or whether these things were returned. I take, for example, the mother of Musa alayhi salam, and how the mother of Musa alayhi salam had to let go of her son. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told her to put Musa alayhi salam as a baby, can you imagine having to do this? To put your own child in the river. And that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked the mother of Musa to have enough reliance on him, to have enough tawakkul, to be able to let go of her baby and to believe in the core of her heart that Allah would return her child. And that required true reliance. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made a promise to the mother of Musa alayhi salam. And that promise was, Inna radduhu ilayk. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised. And it's not like the promises that a human being gives, because a human being can break their promise. This is the promise of Allah. And He promised the mother of Musa that if you put your trust in Him, He will return what you lost. He will return it to you. And so she was tested in her reliance, but she put her trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah promised her that He would return Musa to her, alayhi salam. Now this is very interesting because